Alright fellas, I'm going to be bringing you another update today. This is going to be volume 4. I'm not counting those videos I sent the other day with the bomb. I'll include those in a later volume when I actually clean it up and do some commentary, but this was planned volume 4. What we're going to be doing is motioning the solo receiver in. You'll see I found that I actually get pretty good blocking. I think better blocking, as a matter of fact, especially against man coverage, when I motion this solo receiver in. Now, a few things have changed, and I'll let you know what they are. This, for one, I don't use the levels play anymore, for a couple of reasons. One, I don't always have Hot Route Master or any apprentice abilities, and I've actually found a better cause for the curl flat wheel play in the spot where I have levels. But this play is still valid if you want to use it. If you have apprentice routes and you feel like you want to go ahead and put that corner out there, it's absolutely still valid. It works, no doubt about it. I just get more use right now out of the curl flat wheel play. Now this, you'll see, is essentially it's our bomb play without the comeback route to Miller. Now, I was mostly using this against man and a little bit against cover 2 before, so I never really labbed it out up until recently to go ahead and bomb every coverage. It was more about beating man coverage and then splitting those safeties or beating them on the outside with this fade, right? So that's what this was about. Of course, now I'm just gonna put that comeback route out there more often than not, and I'll have the bomb over the top, I'll have the drag, and I'll have the crossing route as my main reads, which is what you guys were able to see in the video that the emergency video we put out to bomb all these coverages. So now look, here you see the option route to Evans. This is going to smoke cover 2, and if it's cover 9 or cover 6 with the cover 2 to this side, then he'll smoke that too, because it's going to be the same zones right there. Now the reason I use curl flat wheel is because if it's not cover 2, you're only left with the bubble, and the bubble isn't always there, right? And that axe route ends up, if it's not cover 2 more often than not, he'll do a hitch sometimes, but against most coverages he does this, I wouldn't call it a soft slant. So it's a horrible slant. You see the option route he has coming across the field. It's slow, it doesn't break fast. I mean, it's absolutely useless. So curl flat wheel has that same option route, except I'm able to do a little bit more with the three receiver side. So I use curl flat wheel for that reason, and we'll get into that, I think, in the next video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the next value. If y'all really want to know, let me know. I can just shoot it over to you real fast, but I'm gonna give you some enough right here to work with. You see, you really do get good blocking using this motion. Right now I'm using this motion a ton when I'm running the ball. Probably more than half the time I'm running the ball, I use that motion now when I'm doing the trap run. You see there's that weak slant. So what happened is, as I'm going through, you'll see I'm labbing against the different coverages. Most coverages, this play doesn't look good. You may or may not have the bubble open, but you're never gonna have Axe really doing anything that you want him to unless it's a cover 2 look over there. So it's actually it's really a waste of a play, if you will. Whereas with the curl flat wheel, I have options on the right side. So like I said, we'll have a look at that in a minute. But I just want to show you the other things I'm doing with this motion. Again, this is one that's optional. There are other things you could do here with the curl flat corner. I tend to motion Evans in on a dig or a deep dig, and then I will put Godwin on a drag. So I have the drag and the deep dig going to the left, and then I still have the curl and the corner going to the right. So that's one thing you'll see me doing. But again, I'm not using levels anymore. I don't have it in my audibles. I don't call it. I just don't use it. This was me having a look at some different things I could do with levels, and to be completely honest, I'm just not a big fan of the play. It's not a bad play, but there are better plays, and I figured I'd make use of those better plays. So now here we go, curve flat wheel. Now I'm still doing this with the double hitches. You can never get enough hitches. I'm really only doing double hitches. I did that third one just because sometimes you want to see, you know, all hitches. All hitches are fun, but not entirely necessary in this instance. I feel like the corner route actually does a good job of carrying some attention with it for the hitches, and I'd rather have that option. Of course, here again is the PAFL stretch. Of course, like I mentioned before, we are now putting B on a comeback, and that gets X open over the top. Now, I gotta say, we've had some conversation about the offense. Some of you are having some success, some of you are not. Of course, you know, the more you use it, the better you're gonna get. But I want you to keep something in mind, and I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but the 80-20 rule is that you get 80% of your productivity from 20% of your inputs of your tools. So I'm giving you a lot. We're going to end up with 6 volumes at least. Understand that most of what you're going to do in any offense should be situational. 20% of it is what you want to run 80% of the time. So right now, for the last 2 days, the trap play, the bubble play, and PAFL stretch, I've been running those almost 100%. And every now and again, I'll see a look for the curl flat wheel, I'll run that. Every now and again, I'll see a look for the curl flat corner, I'll run that. Every now and again, I see a reason to audible to a different formation, I'll do that. But most of the time I'm snapping the ball is one of these 3 plays. And these are the 3 plays that my opponent has to try to prepare to stop, and they can, because the 3 of them work so well with each other and the things that people want to do. You're going to see people doing a cover 2 press. And this is one thing I didn't mention. Oh, no, I did mention briefly. But when you see that man press, the bubble is actually real easy, because those 2 outside receivers get on their blocks real fast. And the bubble, you can time it and get right between them. So that's one thing you want to look at. I'm doing that a lot. But yeah, like I said, guys, hammer home those base plays, those foundation plays. The bomb play, you're going to add to the foundation. That is absolutely a part of the foundation. Even if you're not throwing the bomb, like I said, I'm using it a lot, but I'm not always looking for the bomb. Sometimes I'll actually quick throw the solo post. I'll quick throw him and pick up anywhere from 10 to 20 yards as soon as he makes his break. I'm throwing the drag, of course, a lot. I'm throwing the crosser, of course, a lot. So just because you're setting up the bomb play doesn't mean you're using it as a bomb. Just like with the single back wide trips, we had great progression reads underneath that streak. We didn't have to throw a streak every time we had it called. So learn to use these plays. Learn to use your tools. You don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. Master those 3 trades. Master those three plays. And like I said, know when the situation arises to call those other things. Every now and again, I see a cover 2, so I'll motion in that solo receiver to try that cover 2 bomb. If it's there. If it isn't, it isn't. And then if it's somebody who I could tell is mixing it up and trying to fool me into thinking it's a cover 2, I'll leave it alone, because we have something that's going to bomb cover 2. We have something that's going to bomb everything, and that's PAFL stretch. So don't overthink it. Remember that you got a 4 wide receiver offense. So you're going to have an advantage somewhere. People are going to have to come up with a bunch of DBs, and they're going to have to defend these 4 wide receivers. And you're going to just run the ball. And if they don't respect the receivers, then you're going to smoke them. It's entirely up to them how they lose. But they're going to lose if you play this offense right. The only thing going to stop us in this offense is ourselves, fellas. It's very, very simple. So, and like I've been saying, hit me up. I'm glad y'all are hitting me up. Keep hitting me up. Let me know how you're doing, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you need help, whether you don't. Let's keep getting out here and let's keep giving them hell. But here we go again. So we're going to show this. And you see that? I'm telling you, I hate that slant from X. I absolutely hate it. So I'm glad I replaced, I'm glad I replaced levels with curl flat wheel. And what I'm doing with curl flat wheel, like I can tell you too, I'm putting the innermost receiver on an out route, a quick out, and the outermost receiver If you have Hot Route Master, you're going to put them on a post. If you don't, you're going to put them on a deep dig, a smart routed dig. For the most part, I don't have Hot Route Master. I use it a lot when I'm showing these videos so that I can show the different options. But for the most part, I don't actually use Hot Route Master. Like yesterday, I used the Panthers a couple times and was whooping dudes with the Panthers. But yeah, so the deep dig. And what happens is the deep dig and the wheel route from the receiver, from the middle receiver, push those zones back. So 8 on his quick out is money. It's always an easy read. And then if for some reason they have a hard flat, well, then you're just going to wait for the deep dig to come back in. So simple reads. And the thing is, again, it's situational. So that's something where if you're running it every play, then my user's going to have a hard flat out there, and then he's going to be prepared to cover the dig coming in. But you're not using it every play. You see what I'm saying? When you do this motion, he's preparing for you to run. When you do this motion, he's preparing for PAF out stretch, which means he's preparing for 2 routes in the middle of the field. He's definitely not thinking about a hard flat. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things you got to think about. Now, these double hitches get underneath everything. I actually have a really cool hitch setup I want to show you guys too. But you see that corner route? That corner route does really well. It does really well against a lot of coverages as well. But you want to time it more often than not. You want to be throwing him on his break. And that's why it's important to get into the lab and see what it feels like and get that timing down. Because making your reads and getting the timing of an offense and understanding the pass leads for every pass really separates a good offense from a great offense. Like if you know the routes and you know, oh, this is going to be cover 2, this is going to be cover 3, that's all right. But if you're in practice and you know against cover 2, I got to throw it two steps after his break. Against cover 3, I got to throw it right before his break. But I got to lead it a little bit more to the sideline. If you know those things, you have a great offense. I'm not kidding you. That's why, to be completely honest, when I go in game with this offense, I'm a whole lot better than when I go in game with the other 3 offenses I'm currently labbing for individuals, the personalized schemes I'm doing. Because those personalized schemes, I'm not able to get into as intricately. I'm building nice schemes for dudes, absolutely am. But those schemes, it's up to them to get into the lab and to learn the timing and the leads and all those things in those plays, because I can't afford to give it as much time as I give this. And that's always going to be the case with the ones that I have on PayHip/Patreon as opposed to the personalized schemes. This one has to get more attention, and this is the one that I have to run the most. So I mean, when I go in game, I'm talking about if I play 10 games, at least 5 of them are this. So then you look and you say, oh, so the other half, it's not half and half, because that half is split between 3 other offenses, whereas this half is all one offense. So this offense gets a lot more attention. But I also have a lot more people paying for it. So, I mean, that's the only right. And of course, as always, I tell y'all this in every video, I'll put the coverages in the timestamps, because I never talk through the coverage and every coverage, and I would never make it through a 30-minute video if I had to say, oh, this is the coverage we're facing now. This is the coverage we're facing now. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. My attention span ain't the greatest. I could talk Madden, I could talk football, I know that, but I can't be regimented. Nah, I'm not the type. Yeah, so you'll see Axe is still getting up there. He's beating up everything. Look at that. Well, Mike Evans gonna marsh you anyway. Nothing like DeAndre Hopkins though, man. Tell me y'all seen that. I haven't seen something like that. But let me tell you something. I'm listening to the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and they had this poll. They have polls every day. So the poll yesterday was, who's the greatest NFL Hail Mary quarterback of all time? And then we had to say NFL because Doug Flutie had a great one in college. But Aaron Rodgers was, of course, the winner by a pretty wide margin, because, God, Aaron Rodgers is amazing. The year he did 2 in a year and all that. But they had Kyler Murray up there, and that's okay. You know, Kyler did his thing, but, I mean, it was one. See what I'm saying? So I feel like Kyler got to get a couple more before he even gets mentioned like that. But here's the joke. The third option was Jesus Christ. I won't get into it, but I had a good laugh. I'll post that in the Discord, though. I usually put up the Pat McAfee thing because I listen to it every day. I enjoy them being able to talk frank. Y'all might notice that in the Discord and even on here, for the most part, I keep my language clean. And that's only because I don't know who's around and whatnot. I actually had a gentleman in Cody's Discord the other day who said his son comes on, so he wouldn't mind if we kept it clean. So I told him, I said, yo, like, as a parent, I respect that. So anyway, back on point. Where we at? We look like we're looking at a cover 0. Yeah, we're absolutely looking at a cover 0. So Axe is gonna beat up, man. Yeah, yo, listen, the levels play. But here's the other thing about the levels play too. Everything I'm doing with levels, if you remember from the first video, everything I'm doing with levels can be done with hot routes. You know, like this, the drag. If you have hot route master or that apprentice route, which is what I'm using in levels, then you can do that out of any play. So, and then what, make a drive concept on the 3 wide receiver side. I mean, I don't think I need to have a play in my audibles that features a bunch of in routes and out routes. Like I can manage that quite well on my own. And to be honest, I don't like those crooked routes, the S post and the 3 route breaking digs and all that. I'm not a big fan because they just take too long to develop. Now the S post I used to like last year because that shit used to roast man. And I used to use it out of single back ace slot because I was using at the time. No, you know what? I used to use it out of ace slot offset as well. I used to motion over and yeah, you motion that over against man and you smoking. And then that used to have the wheel route from the other receiver. That's when wheels would beat a man too. So I mean, I used to max protect and just have those 2 routes, and it's like you choose which one is going to score the touchdown because they both beating you. So you got to go use or something, and I'm gonna hit the other one. But now this is a different game, so we gotta adjust. That ass post ain't doing it as well as it was, and wheel routes are, man, you gotta figure out a different use for wheel routes. I'm really using wheel routes to push back zones. They're doing a good job getting down the sideline against cover 2 still, but it's not something I plan on or plan for, you know. But everybody, you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses because it can work. I seen some dudes use it and base an offense around it, and they kill. But it doesn't work for me. Just like all that jet screen stuff, I'm good with the actual jet pass, but the fakes, the wide receivers, smokes, and whatever the hell else. No, there was one that I was really good at last year. It was in spread. I think it's also in Cleveland. They had the jet route, and it's like a shotgun HP weak stack or something like that. And then they had it was a jet stream fake halfback seam. Yo, the thing was legit. It probably still is, because you hit the user once or twice with the jet stream, and then you get like the tight end cutting straight across the middle quickly, who's usually open because the user's chasing down the jet. And then you had the running back coming up the backfield, going up the seam for sometimes a 1-play touchdown. That's actually a really nice play. Go look it up. All right, so where we at? Look like we got cover 4, somebody up there. Oh, see, y'all see, I'm putting the comeback out there now. See, so I was actually doing this. Funny enough, I was clearly doing this, but I wasn't thinking about bombing every coverage. I really wasn't. Not until y'all told me y'all might need a little something. Because like I said before, I think I said it in one of my videos. I don't know which video, but I'm not really the bomb every coverage, every play type of guy. I like having the option, but I like controlling the ball. I really do. But I'm glad y'all got me to lab that up though, because to be completely honest, it makes this offense complete. And I'm not gonna go ahead and say it's the best offense in Madden, because I got tired of niggas saying. I got tired of people saying that there. I don't know if any of y'all offended by that word, but I got tired of people saying best offense in Madden, never lose again, and all that bull. Listen, man, I want to say at least 10 offenses this year that I'm able to win with and win against top 10 competition with. It's just about knowing your offense, learning your offense, and executing your game plan. I've won with 2-back offenses. I've won with 3 receiver offenses. I'm now running it for 4 receiver offense. I won with single back ace, which is a 2 receiver offense. I mean, offense is offense. What you doing with the sticks? You feel me? And then the other thing too is, if you're even half decent at defense this year, you're giving yourself an advantage because most people suck at defense. So you get out there, you make a couple stops. Hell, you could be running an elementary offense. If you're making stops, you're alright. So the future videos, now we're gonna have another like I said, another formation coming in the next video. And to be honest, depending on time, and if I got enough recorded today, I might actually drop all the rest of the volumes on y'all within the next day or two. Because I really want you guys not only to have this early access as it's being released, but I want the full thing to be ready for y'all so that y'all can have the full thing for a couple of days before the 23rd. Because I still won't make it available to everybody else on the 23rd. Because y'all been, as far as this offense goes, y'all are the day ones. You know what I mean? Y'all are the ones who pay for that special access. And I want to make sure y'all get a little head start, if you will. Look at that corner right over there doing work. See, the Bucks are cool. The truth of the matter is, sometimes I use the Bucks and don't even use any hot routes, you know? I like their team. If it wasn't for the fact that Brady's a statue in the pocket. Hey, and the funny thing about using different offenses, I'm sure y'all have the same issue. Like, you use Kansas City for a little bit. I don't use Lamar Jackson. I used him a little bit last year, but I'm not the running around quarterback type of guy. But you use Kansas City a little bit. Even my Dallas Cowboys or the Seahawks, you know, you can move the quarterback around in the pocket a little bit. You can escape all them things. Man, every time I get into game with the Bucks, after having been in game with those other quarterbacks for a little while, even Josh Allen from the Bills, I take a sack or two with Brady because I forget that I can't get out of the pocket. So I'm like running and I'm thinking something wrong with my turbo button. But no, man, it's just something wrong with my head. I'm using this 80-year-old quarterback. But Brady, nice. I tell you what, though. Everybody talk about Hot Route Master. Hot Route Master is nice. But to me, the best part about using Tom Brady is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one that makes him make his hot routes faster. You know, where he can just like click, 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 almost like you're in practice. He can make his hot routes just like you're in practice, bro. I'm sorry. That, to me, is bigger than Hot Route Master. Because I'll be honest, my favorite things in terms of Hot Route Master or apprentice routes are the running back routes, table routes, and angle routes, and the ghost route too. You give me those, and I'm happy. I don't need the wide receiver routes or the tight end routes. I'll take them, but I don't need them as much. Them angle routes put users in peril, boy. Them angle routes are trouble. Don't nobody. It's like people. You know what? People talk about the things they complain about. And I'm going to go over some goal line offense in the next one. And I'm thinking of that because this is one of the things people complain about a lot is red zone offense. The things that people complain about the most, what you realize is they just ain't labbing. People who say the red zone's hard ain't labbing the red zone. Because the red zone's easy. I got plays designed for the red zone. There's one game, I'll post a game. I went into overtime a couple nights ago. And I was down by 7 at the end of the fourth quarter. At one time out left, and I can't remember where I was, but my plan was to just get somewhere between the 12 and the 9-yard line because I knew I had something I could use from right there to get into the end zone. But that's because I led red zone offense. You feel me? So I did that. I used my timeout. I think I ran the play twice. I got stopped the first time, but I scored the second time. And I ran it twice in a row because it's that good. Because I led red zone offense. You feel me? And I'm going to put that play on y'all, actually. That play is in the formation that we go over in the next video, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, it's absolutely that formation and the goal line are in the next video. I got one other motion that I found that's kind of interesting. Actually, it's really interesting, but it's situational as well. So I might just throw that at the end of that volume instead of making it a whole new one. And then we're going to have the bomb plays. So we're probably looking at 3 videos. This one, the next one with the new formation, the goal line, and the other motion. And then the bomb video. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it like that. depending on how long each video is, I might attach the motion to the bomb video or whatever, but I'll try to keep them all at around 30 minutes or so. But it don't really matter, because y'all gonna watch it anyway. The run and shoot squad don't play. The run and shoot squad is here, bro. And I really appreciate y'all for getting down and for, like I said, giving this offense a run and keep me updated on your progress. I'm actually excited about what I'm hearing from most of you, and I am encouraged about what I'm hearing from those of you who are struggling, because I know it's gonna come. I know it's gonna come. I believe in this offense, and I believe in y'all. Put in the work, and just stay hitting me up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send all of y'all friend requests on the Discord so we can open, because you gotta have you gotta be like friends in order to do a group chat. So I'm gonna send all of y'all a friend request so we can do a group chat RNS for any questions that guys might have, because the truth is, sometimes y'all are DMing me, you might have a question about something, it might be one of y'all got the answer, you know. So I think if we had a place where we could all chat about this, it'll be a good thing. Or maybe I could just make a channel. Yeah, I can make a channel on the Discord too, you know. Alright, yeah, I'll look into all of that. I got a good bit of work to do today, believe it or not. So I won't do it right away, but I'll get it done between now and Thursday night probably. So we're into the cover sixes. That means we're nearing the end of the video, because I always finish with cover 6, then cover 6 invert, and then cover 9. So this was a pretty lengthy one, and it's all in practice. So if y'all are still here, y'all are the real riders, bro, because it's not exciting, but it is necessary. These are the things you gotta do in order to take your offense to the next level, in order to run this thing the right way, you know. And y'all already know, you run it the right way. I mean, y'all are hitting me up on a regular basis, telling me your quarterback either didn't miss a pass all game, or missed one pass all game, or missed 2 passes all game. And that's the same success I'm having. There's no reason not to. You feel me? Like, these reads are too easy, these throws are too easy. We throwing bubble screens. I mean, come on, we throwing drags. And even when we throwing the deep post, it's wide open. You feel me? There's nothing complicated about what we're doing. Nothing at all. And by the time we get these throws, we got the space and we got the time, because if we throwing the ball, that means our opponent's respecting the run. So if we got 7 and 8 in the box, our wide receivers got a lot of grass around them. And if it ain't 7 and 8 in the box, then we got to be running that trap. You know, run it straight up or use one of the motions, whatever it take. And some games is different. Sometimes one motion will work and against one opponent, and it don't work against another. So you got to just see what's working against the defense you're facing. And once you realize it, you spam the hell out of that, you know? And the other thing you got to do, I'm sure y'all doing this, but just in case y'all not, use the hurry up offense. You know, if somebody comes out in quarter defense or dime defense and you're able to run it, even if it's for 4 or 5 yards, quick snap, hurry the ball up. Don't let him get out of that defense. Run that trap over and over until you think either your running back's tired and you got to get him out of there so he don't fumble, or until he call a timeout. Because eventually they do something stupid. They call cover 0 because they feel desperate, or they call Nicole man because they feel desperate, and then you hit them with PAF outstretch for a touchdown. You know, I mean, after I post these volumes up, I'm gonna start posting some gameplays. And I'm gonna see if I can talk through a few of them to show you what I'm thinking on offense, because things like that, like right there, saying I'm gonna keep doing this, because there are times where I'm doing it where I know a cover 0 is coming. I just keep running it, waiting for it, and as soon as I see it, I go over the top. So a lot of times when I'm running the ball, I'll still do the exact same hot routes, 1, 2, 3, 4, as if I'm doing the PAF outstretch bomb. So it don't look no different, you know. So I still pretend to smart route X, pretend to block Y, pretend to drag A. I'll do all that. Put B on the comeback. I'll do all that, you know. All the while I'm in the trap run, motion through it over, smack him in the mouth. Then finally, he calls his cover 0, thinking he gonna smack me back. And I'm over the top with the solo receiver in the end zone. You feel me? This is it. I know I talk a lot about like 1-2 punches and jabs and hooks, and I use a lot of boxing references. But that used to be my life, man. I love boxing, you know. I love fighting, for better or worse. I'm not sure my wife likes that, but we don't fight. But I don't think she likes the violence in general. We had an argument the other day about Mike Tyson. I think Mike was a good dude, but we won't get into it. Anyway, but yeah. So to me, this is a fight. It's a boxing match, and man, you fight with your head. You fight the one above the shoulders, not with the gloves. You feel me? If there's nothing else you remember, you win a fight above the shoulders, baby. Yeah. So that's where we're gonna take it.